From inside Ralph Engelstad Arena, it's time for North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol. I'm your host, Dan Hammer. On tonight's show, North Dakota and Duluth, two top 10 teams in the nation, two challengers for the Penrose Cup. Went toe-to-toe this past weekend. The coach and I will watch the highlights. We'll also preview North Dakota's final piece of non-conference play as it hosts Niagara this coming weekend. Coach, going to be back with you again following a 4-1 loss and a 5-2 win over Minnesota Duluth. Big-time answer back by your team on Saturday to leave the weekend with a good feeling.
Well, we had a tough night on Friday night. Minnesota Duluth played awfully well. They played consistent throughout the weekend. We were pretty sloppy with the puck Friday night and got ourselves in a lot of trouble, and we needed to have that response on Saturday.
One current theme throughout both games was the play of Zane McIntyre. Played well throughout the weekend.
Yeah, you know, when you look at Friday night's game, Dan, we had an opportunity to come away from that game with points late in the hockey game. Yep. And that one was fully riding the play of Zane on that particular night. Saturday, he followed it up again. The guys played much better in front of him. Put 5 up on the board, and that was enough to get the split on the weekend.
And also on Saturday night, you shook up your lines, made up some line adjustments, and I think those players responded in a positive way.
Yeah, we did. In a lot of respects, we went back to some things that have worked in the past. When you look at the Johnson, Murphy, Patton line, you know, you look at Connor Gorder's line, who ended up scoring 3 goals on the night. Those are 2 units that have had success together in the past.
All right, Dave, when we come back, we'll take a look at the highlights. Begin with Friday night. A lot coming your way tonight here on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sioux Shop at Ralph Engelstad Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by HotSpring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at Friday night's highlights here, Dave. And you entered the weekend as the #1 team in the nation, Duluth #7. Obviously, both going to be in the race for the Penrose Cup the rest of the way. In our opening, you mentioned the word turnovers. They were certainly a factor in this hockey game.
It was a huge factor. It was the biggest factor for us in a negative sense. We just didn't take care of the puck. We didn't make smart, single-minded plays. And that's, you know, you can't play that way against good teams. And we just were not sharp enough throughout the 60 minutes with the puck.
2 goals reviewed and waved off to begin the hockey game. The first one here looks like Drake Kajula will give your team a 1-0 lead, but this is going to be reviewed and waved off. Bryn Chiswick, as you see, will be in the paint. What was the explanation to you, Dave?
Well, that you know, the explanation was that our player affected the goaltender's ability to make the save without being pushed in. And I'm not getting into any debates because I get quite frustrated by all of the goal reviews. Yet, you know, with the nature of our rules, it's something that has to happen.
Yeah. This goal waved off. What about your transition game or the ability to create some things through your transition game on Friday night?
It just wasn't good enough. It wasn't sharp enough, and that's, you know, Minnesota Duluth does a real good job taking care of gaps. They do a real good job in their 5-man neutral zone defense, and we just didn't do enough transitionally in this game, either to give ourselves a chance for opportunities, which in these clips we're doing, or more importantly, to spend time in the offensive zone rather than the defensive zone.
Second period, and here's the second goal of the game, also reviewed and weighed off. I think most observers would say this was a no-doubter here. I mean, Adam Krause is right in the grill of Zane McIntyre.
Yeah, you know, in the old days, if the puck got there first, you could go to the net and do about as much as you wanted. But in this case, you know, again, by our rules, this one is a no-goal. There's no question.
So we remain scoreless until the 6:49 mark of the second period, and a turnover here is going to lead to a quick transition by Duluth.
Yeah, this is some of the sloppy play, not taking care of the puck. We had a couple of opportunities outside of this clip to get the puck deep and take care of it and play in the offensive zone. We're sloppy with it. Our sort isn't very good on our tracking and back checking. And their third man puts in a rebound.
Zane McIntyre, as we touched on, was certainly the last line of defense on many occasions on Friday night. And again, he held you in the game for a long time on Friday night.
Yeah, he gave us a chance. Our second period was a sleepy period for us.
Don't you think that's when the game changed?
I hate to use that word, but 25 minutes into this game, it was an even hockey game. After that, Minnesota Duluth, after they score their first goal, I thought we got back on our heels. Rather than getting simpler and harder, we got a little bit slow and a little bit fancy, and it was really shooting ourselves in the foot.
So that second period was kind of the period that swung the game, don't you think?
No question. There's no question. It was the period that decided the game.
Third period here, you start getting some things going here offensively in the third period.
Yeah, we had a decent third period, and not a whole lot going on either way, but we had a pretty good period, and we're able to tie up the hockey game and give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, at the midway point of the third period, and Gage Ausmus here is going to engage offensively and feed Connor Gordon, and you tie the game here.
Yeah, and it's just it's a simple play to the net. It's a kick-out play at the blue line. And putting a puck to the net, and usually good things happen when you do that.
So it is 1-1 here at the 10:05 mark of the third period. Good to see number 13 get back in the goal scoring sheet here
absolutely.
for you.
And he had a very good weekend for us, both Friday night playing low minutes, and then Saturday night with a little with a few more minutes on the ice. His line was excellent.
Yeah. So momentum on your side, but it was short-lived momentum here. Just a minute 7 later, Duluth with some pressure in the zone that'll lead to the go-ahead goal.
Well, this is a play after an icing call, and usually first instinct is correct, and first instinct on the bench was to take a timeout. Didn't do that, and it ended up costing us a goal.
Yeah.
We didn't execute the face-off that we wanted coming out, but we had tired legs after that, and it cost us.
Yeah. So it's 2-1. Duluth grabs the quick lead back. Then just 62 seconds later, Duluth's going to make it 3-1 here.
Yeah, it's a 4-on-4 play, and again, we just turn a puck over and straight down the ice. A lot of time and space for their defenseman up on the play there, and he beats Zane short side.
How did you think your team reacted after those 2 quick goals and the quick answer by Duluth?
I would say we were just okay. We had a little bit of a push. We worked hard to try to get back into it, but ultimately we just didn't generate enough to be able to do that. We could have tied it up right after the 2-1 goal. We had a great opportunity to knot the game back up, but it was not meant to be.
4-1 is the final, so Duluth grabs the series opener. We spoke with Connor Gordon and Drake Kajula following the game.
I think we got a little bit sloppy. We got away from making simple plays and trying to do a little too fancy out there, and kind of wore us out, and we were playing a lot in our D zone, and it would have helped to just stay to the game plan, and we kind of got away from the game plan there.
Mostly it was on our part. We weren't getting pucks in deep, and we weren't getting second guys around loose pucks, and made it easier for them to break out of the zone. But they have a quick team, and they get around the loose pucks a little faster than we did tonight.
Dave, what were the themes with you and the team as you exited Friday night and headed to the series finale?
Well, the big thing through Friday night and Saturday morning, Dan, was playing the right way. We didn't talk about results. We talked about playing the right way, doing the right things, doing them consistently, and doing them at a level that gives you success in the second half. That's what all the discussions were centered around.
All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at Saturday night's highlights here on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sioux Shop at Ralph Ingalls Stat Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by HotSpring Spas and Pool Tables too.
Welcome back to the show, the series finale Saturday night. Let's take a look at the highlights here, Coach. And in this game, you had a power play just 39 seconds into the game. You didn't score, but you created 5 opportunities. Did it help you get going here in the game?
Yeah, we were going from the drop of the puck. An absolute 180-degree turnaround from our first 5 to 8 minutes on Friday night. We were going, we were jumping. In all areas of the game coming out of the gate.
Yeah, 14 shots on goal in the opening period in this one.
Yeah, and that's, playing at home, that's what we expect out of ourselves.
Yeah. So you get some early pressure here on Duluth with the power play. Also a key stretch of this power play was, again, Zane McIntyre coming up with a key save here as Duluth had an opportunity shorthanded.
Yeah, just a bad bounce there for Paul Ledoux, and that creates the 2-on-1. Luke Johnson actually is the player back as a forward playing that 2-on-1. He does a good job give Zane the front side save, and as we know, Zane will make those saves for us.
You mentioned Connor Gorder. You liked his play this weekend.
That was outstanding. I thought he was very consistent throughout the 2 games.
And then 13-25, you're going to open the scoring here, and you win a puck at center ice, and Brent O'Donnell's going to go to work, get a chance, and this will end up in an O'Donnell goal as well.
Yeah, it's a simple play coming up ice. It's chipping the puck up the strong side. 2 players pushing the pace for possession, and then just outlets and cycling and making plays results in a great goal for us.
Good play by Keaton Thompson to get around the D-man and set up O'Donnell there.
Yeah, it was. We made the initial outlet. We got it D to D, and then Keaton was in attack mode down the strong side wall. And found Brendan in the slot.
Your opening goal, it ties the game at 1. Then shortly after your goal, a couple of key defensive plays. One turned in by Mark McMillan here on Dominic Toninato.
Yeah, and it's a lot of little things as you go throughout a game. Again, it's a good transition play by Duluth, but we're in position to track it and take that play away.
And Zane McIntyre again comes up key here.
Yeah, and this was a kind of a one-on-one play against Paul Ledoux, and he's got such a good stick. But I think this speaks to the skill level of a couple of Duluth's forwards. They make a great play, but in turn we make an equally good defensive play after that.
Tucker Poolman moved up to wing, and again you're seeing his versatility here, what the freshman brings. First on the PK, and after this his playmaking ability.
Yeah, you saw him on the PK there. Obviously we used him back on the blue line on the kill, and then this is a transition play right at the end of the first period where he and Michael Parks make a heck of a play. Great hands, quick hands play by Pooley on that play, and almost put us up going into the break.
All right, we go to the second period, and this is the shift that ignited your team. It starts with Parks with a speed play, and then you get a cycle shift out of it.
Yeah, speed has a way of putting people off balance, and Mike took that puck 200 feet up the middle of the rink. How it didn't go in, it's hard to believe, but this was a great shift to get our second period going.
Yeah, it was one of those sustained shifts that you were really making Duluth play defense now.
Yeah, and that's when when you see shifts like this with sustained pressure, you know that you have some chemistry as a line, and this group did a good job of it, and as you said, it really ignited our period.
And Zane McIntyre also strong. In fact, I think he played his best hockey over the second and third periods of this game when he made 31 of his 41 saves.
Yeah, no question. He had some, he had a good number. This in my opinion is one of his best in terms of making plays for our team. But he had a lot of work in the third period when the game was a 2 or a 3 goal game. But key saves come in the second period.
He seemed to play with some swagger this weekend.
A lot of confidence, absolute lot of confidence. I thought he took his game to a new level this weekend.
All right, 6.5 minute stretch of the period really creates some separation, and Mark McMillan gets it going here.
Yeah, and this was Mark's second opportunity of this shift, and both taking the puck wide. This one's a great play to put the puck through that triangle of the defenseman and then finish it off.
Then less than 5 minutes later, Connor Gorder is going to come up with a steal from the cross-ice pass and set up O'Donnell.
Just great read, good pressure. It's moving your feet again, making the other team defend and play defense under pressure, and good things happen.
3-1 now. The building is jumping in a big way, and you're feeding off the momentum. I think you guys are feeding off the crowd, and you cash in just 2.5 minutes later on the power play.
Well, and our power play had been going pretty good all night long. We scored a couple of these, that are just right after the power play ends. In our opinion, those are power play goals for us. It was a great delay play by Nick Schmaltz, and he just sifts it through to Drake Kajula at the net front.
So it's 4-1 at the 12:47 mark of the second period. You called a timeout late in the second period. They had won a couple of faceoffs. You had a defensive faceoff coming in the defensive zone. You called a timeout and you win that faceoff and closed out the period.
Yeah, we just had some tired legs, and we normally use our, very often we'll use our timeouts in that respect. We just we did a little weak side hard rim play, and just to get us out of the period.
Right, so you go to the third period in command, then you're going to close out the scoring in the third period, and it's going to be Luke Johnson here stealing the puck on the far wall, sets up Brendan O'Donnell, and this will cap off his first ever hat trick.
Yeah, again, just making teams play in their own zone. It's nothing special. It's putting the puck deep. I think Luke does a great job pressuring the two defensemen, and nice to see Brendan finish it off for the Hattie.
It's 5-2 as the Hats rain down on the ice at Engelstad Arena, and this is a very intense series. Two very confident teams, so Not a shock that tempers were a little short in the late stages of this game.
You get competitive people on either side, and some things had been brewing a little bit throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
2 hard-fought games, and sometimes this stuff is going to happen. Nothing got out of hand. Nothing went over the top. Everybody played hard.
Just a lot of young guys competing hard.
That's right.
Right? So 5-2 is the final there. We spoke with several of your players following the game, including Brendan O'Donnell with his first ever career hat trick.
For me, I think I was just kind of benefited from a few great plays from some of the guys. I think Gordy probably could have shot his in, and he decided to give it to me. So I was, not really much I did there. And Tomer made a great cross-ice pass. And then on the last one, Luke Johnson just won a battle. And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. So
We got challenged as a team from our coaching staff, and we challenged ourselves to come back and be a little sharper today, play with a little more intensity. And
that was our goal, to come out and kind of set a tone, and I think that's what we did, just playing physical and playing hard. And we knew if we did that, maybe their fast, skilled forwards would maybe shy off a bit.
We cleaned some things up back there. Zane played another great game in front of us, and I think the more time we spent in their zone, the better off we were, and the results came.
Dave, Brendan O'Donnell, he had a good finish to the end of last season. Came into the season with some confidence. Really good to see him get a hat trick. He's battled some injuries throughout his career. How about his performance?
Well, it was a real key for us this weekend. He and his line mates on Saturday night were the catalyst for our hockey team. And I look at Brendan's pathway here. He started the season so well last year and then suffered a wrist injury, which really he carried with him throughout the remainder of the season. He had a tremendous final month for us.
He did.
Now he's back to that form and playing very well.
You really believe that as your second half goes, so go the juniors and the seniors. Brendan O'Donnell, Zane McIntyre, Connor Gorder, Mark McMillan. That was a resonating theme in your win Saturday night.
Well, and really, with our team, we're a group that needs to have everybody going, everybody contributing, everybody doing their job. But in reality, our juniors and seniors are the ones that have been there. They've been through this process. They know what it takes. They have to be the ones that in the locker room, on the bench, and on the ice are pointing the right direction for everybody.
3 very important points as you leave the weekend. And coming up next, we'll preview your final non-conference games of the season as Niagara visits the Ralph. We'll do that next here on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sioux Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, and in triumph of Fargo, and by HotSpring Spas and Pool Tables too.
North Dakota in the middle of a 6-game home stretch here to begin the month of January. It's non-conference play this weekend. Niagara in at the Ralph Friday and Saturday. Dave, your final non-conference games of the season. We know the importance of all of them. What are your points of emphasis in the work week here as you get ready for Niagara?
Well, for us is maintaining our level of play from Saturday night through this week of practice and into Friday night's game. There can be no wavering in the things that we're doing within our simple team structure, and there can be no waver in terms of the intensity or effort level of each individual that's in the lineup.
Niagara's not having a great season. You know you're going to get their best. Are you concerned at all about a letdown of the guard from your guys inside that locker room going into Friday?
No, I'll go exactly back to what I just said. This is all about us and what we're trying to build and the level of play that we expect out of ourselves going into the second half. So, we've got a lot of respect for any opponent that we play. We know that any opponent coming into this building is going to play their best game. We're going to put the focus right on ourselves inside our locker room and the expectations that we have of ourselves.
All right, Dave, good luck this weekend against Niagara. I'll have both games for you live here on Midco Sports Network, and we'll wrap up the Niagara series next week here on the show. We're back with some final thoughts next.
North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol on Midco Sports Network is presented by Sioux Shop at Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, Indian Triumph of Fargo, and by HotSpring Spas and Pool Tables too.
North Dakota and Niagara this Friday and Saturday night here inside Ralph Ingolstadt Arena. As previously mentioned, Niagara struggling this season. 3 wins, 14 losses, and 2 ties in 19 games this year. They are 1-7-1 on the road, and really at the root of their problems is their lack of ability to score the puck consistently. The Purple Eagles are averaging just 1.9 goals per game. They're giving up 4 goals per game. Fans, you are encouraged to take part in the Green Out this weekend. Wear green each night. You can pick up your official Green Out t-shirt at the Sioux Shop inside Ralph Ingolstadt Arena, the Dakota textbook, or Shields. Again, the Green Out both Friday and Saturday night. Wear green and take part in the Green Out. And if you're not here, we know you'll be watching live on Midco Sports Network. We'll have each game for you. We hope you can join me, Scott Koberinsky, and Katie Hale. Our coverage begins at 7:30 on Friday night, and we're back with you at 7 o'clock on Saturday, the final 2 non-conference games for North Dakota. And coming up next week here on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol, we'll look back at the Niagara series and then preview North Dakota's return to the NCHC as it will host Colorado College 2 weekends from now, and that'll begin the real race for the Penrose Cup. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on North Dakota Hockey with Dave Hakstol.